Well, it certainly feels good to be on the other side of one of these tight ball games. It was huge at the end of the game. Our defense, I would say, bailed me out for the conservative calls at the end of the game, but just really proud of our group, just in terms of, I feel like they are growing. They continue to battle. I feel like we're getting better. And we had a lot of guys step up, and that was critical today in terms of just the number of injuries that we've had, and just guys like you look in the back end, you got Carrington Valentine, Corey Valentine, Jonathan Owens, and Anthony Johnson, and then the young wideouts all made plays today. That was critical. Tucker Kraft. But I really think the story of the game was we talked about winning the ball all week, and we finally came out on the right side of that, and I think that was the difference in the game. Our red zone defense was really good today. Certainly wanted to keep them out in the fourth quarter when they took the lead, but I thought all in all that you got to give the Chargers a ton of credit. It's a really good football team. Obviously, I think Justin Herbert, he's one of the best in the game. But I thought our guys, they battled, they competed. Really proud of Jordan, to just the poise that he showed, the leadership he showed. He made some big-time plays. And, we'll enjoy it tonight, but it's a very, very quick turnaround. Obviously, got one of the best teams in the NFL going into their building on Thanksgiving, and that's a special opportunity to be able to play on Thanksgiving Day. But I'm just really happy with our guys and the effort that they've put forth, through all the adversity.
You're down 2 running backs, so they know you're going to throw, and you've had a lot of cracks at these game-winning drives this season. What does it tell you about Jordan that in that situation he's able to come through and lead that touchdown drive there?
Yeah, it was huge. He showed great poise. I think he showed that all game long, and to see guys make some big-time plays. I mean, the play by Wicks was huge, obviously. I mean, I don't know how many yards that was. But it was a big-time play that put us in scoring position, and then we went no huddle. And I thought there was a little bit of pressure on Jordan in that situation. They were obviously confused defensively, and you got to give Rome a ton of credit. We preach aggressive hands, and he went up, and there was definitely a mentality, and you could see it right there. I mean, he went and snatched that ball.
Any word on Aaron Jones?
No word on him in terms of, I don't think it's long-term. Certainly, I think it really looked bad. I was really concerned. Just seeing it live. I didn't see a replay or anything. But seeing it live, it did not look good. But, he's in good spirits in there, and so hopefully it's just a short-term deal.
The Chargers were second in the league in red zone touchdown percentage before today. Just what was the key to be able to force them, either force a fumble or force them to settle for short field goals and field those trips?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm going to have to go back and look at it. But just our guys, they fought, they battled, and came up with some big-time plays. That fumble recovery down there in the red area was absolutely critical, just to keep points off the board, to give us an opportunity to go down. Would have liked to have iced the game right there, didn't do it, but I thought our defense came back and they competed. Obviously, I think the next drive, I want to say the Chargers took the lead, but then our offense was able to answer.
Jordan said the touchdown to Watson was a play that you kind of just drew up on the sideline. Like, any truth to that, or how did that play come about?
Yeah, it was, and I got to give John Dunn all the credit in the world on that. There was a play earlier in that drive, and we kind of, you always look at the pictures, and we saw something there. He suggested a play, and then we called it and hit the coverage, and those guys went out there and executed it. It was a great job by Christian, just hauling ass across the field, and Jordan made a good throw, but certainly the credit goes to John Dunn in that situation.
Jordan talked about how he's felt his offense has been growing. What's it mean to have the winning result to go along with the growing when you guys are moving the ball up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it feels really good. You can move the ball, and if you come out on the wrong side, it's for nothing. This is a team game, and we still got to do a better job. I thought we left a few opportunities out there where we should be coming away with points. But I do think, I think we can all see the improvement, and we got a great test in front of us. This is a really good defense we're about to play in Detroit. But I am happy with the progress. Our guys just got to continue to battle, and certainly it's going to be potentially a little bit more difficult if you don't have a guy like Aaron Jones in the lineup. And then we've had, I thought Emmanuel Wilson was doing some good things out there as well. And I don't think it looks good for him as well either. So we're going to be a little bit short at the running back position, but that's something that we'll figure out.
You were adamant last week, I think it was the last thing you said in your opening statement in Pittsburgh, was if you keep at this, you're convinced, you're confident that it's going to work out. What was the difference today? Because you did have you've had a lot of cracks at these. What was the difference in being on the right side today?
I think just guys made plays. I mean, that was evident in the last offensive, or the second to last offensive series, and then defensively to hold them there on the fourth down. Kenny Clark getting his big paw up and knocking that ball away. But I thought our guys challenged him, and I got to give Joe a ton of credit. He was playing some single safety there, which I don't think a lot of people would, but that's just the style of quarterback you're going against. You're going against a guy that if you have a lot of softness in your coverage, he's going to make you pay. And certainly he had his fair share of plays today, but he is a remarkable player. I think we all saw that and witnessed that. That's the first time I've had live exposure to him, and obviously see a lot of his tape and admire what they do offensively. I think Kellen Moore does a great job. But Justin Herbert, I mean, he is the future, one of the future stars of this league.
What went into your decision along the offensive line with the rotations? And unless I missed something, why just the one series for Sean Ryan?
Yeah, it's something that we went into the game with, that we were going to rotate some guys and just to shake it up a little bit, bring a little bit more competition to it. And, we'll look into that each and every week and make adjustments accordingly.
Jaden was a pretty big part of your game plan today. Obviously, about rookie receivers having to go through it last year as well. What's allowed him to really stand out from the get-go to have such a featured role?
He's such a competitor, and he was a little banged up as well. Just nothing serious, but battling through. He took a nice hit, and but he is a dog. He's a war daddy, and he goes out there and he's such a competitor, and got a lot of confidence in him. He continues to make big time plays, and we're going to keep on featuring all those guys. I think that group as a whole, I think, first of all, I got to give a lot of credit to Vrabel. He does a really good job with those guys of holding them to a high standard, and I think those guys compete with one another now, and they do a great job. I think guys like Malik stepping in there, he had a huge chip on that. I don't know if you guys saw that on that third down on Mack, and put him right on his butt on the play that got called for the pass interference that allowed us to continue that drive. But all those guys, they all battle, they all compete, and I know the balls are tough to come by in terms of when you have 5+ guys that you feel like it can go to anybody, and they show up with a great attitude and they cheer for one another, and that's always fun to see as well.
You mentioned the conservative play calling at the end. When you look back at it, would you have liked to maybe put the ball
Yeah,
on
that was on me. First of all, I shouldn't put our quarterback in that situation. So called the play. I said, if we don't get the look, call timeout. I almost popped the timeout. I shouldn't put him in that situation. That's on me. I'm not proud of that. Certainly, quite frankly, I'm embarrassed by it. Just the conservativeness of that. Just wanted to take a look. If we had the play, then we were going to run it, and we didn't get the look. So I just got to be better in that situation and pop the timeout. I think that's too much to put on his plate at this point in time, where it wasn't even something in the game plan, and it was a bad deal.
Matt, what does Kenny when you need it to your defense? He doesn't always have the stats from his line position, but today he had the forced fumble, he had to slide passing.
Yeah, Kenny Clark's, he's one of our leaders, no question about it, and another guy that continues to battle, and he certainly leads that defensive line room, and he's a big leader on this, not only on the defense, but for this football team. Not always the most outspoken, but certainly he does it with his play and his actions and how he prepares on a weekly basis, and we're fortunate to have a guy like that in our locker room.
Matt, what's the key in the next 72 hours to take your best shot at Detroit?
Yeah, I think it's these guys gotta recover. So if you have any great methods on that, let me know.
You guys have won 2 out of your last 3 now, and I think that there was a feeling of a lot of growth offensively coming out of Pittsburgh. When you look at these past few weeks, do you feel like you've turned a corner offensively? Is it still too early to say that? Where do you think you guys
I don't think you can ever say that in this league because you're only as good as your last game, and as soon as you start feeling good about yourself, you usually get knocked off. So I think it's something that you got to hit the reset button, win, lose, or draw, and go back to the drawing board and prepare the right way because this league has a way of humbling you, and every week is like I've said a million times, is a new challenge, but also a new opportunity. And we've got a great task in front of us, a team that's really gotten after us the last, I don't know how many times we played them, 4 times or whatever it is. Got a lot of respect for Dan and what he's been able to establish here, the culture, and they got a good thing going right now. So we're going to need our best effort, no doubt about it, to go into their building and come out on top.
You start game planning. Go ahead, Jason.
Going back a little bit on Ryan's question, though, and I know you have a quick turnaround, you got to worry about the Lions, but you made it very clear there are no moral victories. So even though you had good moments last week, it was all about the fact that you still freaking lost. So when you're able to win, what does this allow you to do as a coach, as a building block for this young team that you talked about growth all the time, but now you got the result? So doesn't that mean a hell of a lot more?
Yeah, I think so. I think it just, it helps these guys believe, that they can find a way to do it, and so that's always rewarding. Certainly, it makes the week, especially on a short week when it is a tight turnaround. It can be not the most fun experience all the time because these guys got to try to get their bodies back, and it's a mental week. There's not going to be a lot of reps. You just gotta be mentally prepared, and you got to physically get your body back to go out and play and go against a very physical football team. And we know their play style well. Like I said earlier, it's a team that's handled us, quite frankly, the last few times we've played them. But I do think it gives our guys just a little boost going into that week.
Does it give you buy-in a little more too, like when you get, not that these guys are buying in, but
I think these guys are bought in. I think they can, and I see it in their actions and how they go out and compete. I don't know about you guys, but certainly I feel like, they're giving us everything they have. And it's just, this league is tough. A lot of these games go down to one possession, and, it's a few plays here or there that determine the outcome of who wins and who loses. And so I don't think there's ever a lack of effort. I think these guys, they got a lot to prove. I think each individual, no matter what phase you're talking about, offense, defense, special teams, and so they're going to continue to fight and try to prove themselves.
Do you start game planning tonight, Monday, or when does that start?
That started probably Friday.
Okay. I guess the reason why I ask is, how do you game plan with one running back? Obviously, you're going to do something, but I guess how do you proceed when you just don't know what you're going to have a running back?
That's a great question, Bill. We'll have a solution for it. I promise you. We'll have a solution. I trust Goody, and I know his staff is on it, and he and his staff are on it, and we'll have a solution for that. But it's another great challenge.